When I see an article with this title, I get two different reactions inside of myself. The first side of me wants to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, things are really tough out there right now, so it's okay if you're behind on saving for retirement. The other reaction I have is, no, that is not okay. People need to stop normalizing the fact that it's okay that you're behind on saving for retirement. I seriously feel like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. While I don't think that you should really beat yourself up if you are behind, I do think that you should be honest with yourself about where you're at and realize that a radical change most likely needs to happen immediately. To help give you a little push, I'm going to show you how much Americans have saved in checking accounts, savings accounts, and retirement accounts based on your age group so that you can, of course, compare yourself to them. Yes, I am fully aware that Theodore Roosevelt said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." I read 3 of his biographies and I've had it written down on the whiteboard in my garage gym for many years, so I know. But in this case, we're going to use comparison as motivation to make sure that we're continuing to work to be above average, even if you're average or below average right now. Let's talk about that big number first, your net worth. Your net worth is pretty easy to calculate if you haven't done it before. All you do is take your assets and subtract your liabilities. I get asked a lot whether or not to add things like equity in your vehicle and personal residence. The simple answer is that it's completely up to you. I personally don't like to put my car in there because I drive all of mine into the ground, so in my eyes, it's always going to be worth $0 or pretty darn close. To me, it's essentially a sunk cost. When it comes to the equity in my home, I calculate my net worth with and without it because it's nice to be aware of both numbers. My main focus is on the net worth number without home equity because that is the number that I'll be withdrawing from in retirement. Later in the video, I'll give you access to my personal net worth tracker that's very simple and basic. I'll also share some free net worth tracking software as well. We're going to start out by taking a look at net worth, including home equity, then we'll see how things look without it before moving on to other savings and investment accounts. Gen Z is naturally the poorest with a net worth of $6,100. The good thing that they have going for them is how rich they are and the amount of time that they have left compared to us older folks. They have something to look forward to though, because the millennials' net worth jumps by 557% to $40,100. Don't get excited by that large jump, millennials. Yeah, 557% is huge, but let's be honest, the bar is pretty low since Gen Z is still ramping up their financial life. We can be and should be doing a whole lot better than that. Gen Xers, my MTV generation people, you guys and gals get a 227% bump up to $149,000 compared to us millennials. I know you guys are the smaller generation sandwiched in between the baby boomers and us annoying, entitled younger millennials, but I'd like to see that $149,000 increase by more than where we see the baby boomers at when you hit their age. They see a 76% increase to $263,000 compared to you, followed by the silent generation who has a median net worth of $293,000, including their home equity. I'm going to go ahead and keep on screen the net worth including home equity so that we can compare the numbers excluding home equity. If you fall within any of these generations that are currently working, this is your Uncle Jarrad calling you out in a friend-to-friend way. We all need to seriously take a look at these numbers because in my opinion, it is not good. Now you might be looking at them and compared to your actual numbers, you're ahead by these median amounts. But I think that we can all admit that they're extremely low. So are you really ahead? Most likely not, and that is okay to a certain extent. This is our chance to admit where we are truly at in regards to saving for retirement so that we can start getting to work on setting ourselves up to be financially independent sooner rather than later. Because I can tell you that if I hit 65 or older and I only have $200,000 or less in net worth like the baby boomers and silent generation, then I'm going to look back at my 30s, 40s, 50s, and early 60s and want to smack that person over the back of the head and ask, what in the hell was that guy thinking putting me in this position? I say this all the time because it's easy for us to forget. You and me, We have a responsibility to our older selves to set them up financially so that they don't have to work or constantly worry about money for the rest of their life. Our earning potential is way better than theirs, so we need to do the right thing today because they deserve way better than how we're treating them right now. Always remember rule number 76.
Rule number 76, no excuses, play like a champion.
This is my trail dog, Molly, and she directly benefits from you hitting that thumbs up button and helping this channel grow, so thanks for doing that for her. Okay, now that I basically made everyone watching this, including myself, feel poor, let's see how much people have in their checking and savings accounts. I don't know about you, but getting a glimpse in all of these numbers kind of feels like a financial version of stalking your ex on social media. No, I've never done that, so you should quit making up lies about me on the internet. Here's both of the checking and savings for each generation. Now, I'm assuming that the amount in checking is to cover everyday spending, which is perfectly fine. But the savings account numbers are pretty concerning in my opinion. Most of the money in this type of account should be for an emergency. No way these amounts are even close to being able to cover that many months if something random happens. I'll admit that any amount is better than nothing, so I can't completely knock on the median amounts in here. If you're someone who needs a little hypothetical kick in the butt to start getting your emergency fund started or topped off, then here it is. I've heard people trashing on emergency funds because it's money that's just sitting there. These people are, excuse my language, idiots. The individuals who say this are usually pretty entitled and so out of touch that they've never had a real emergency that they couldn't afford come and knock them out financially. Emergency funds have a horrible return on investment in the traditional sense because it's getting eaten away by inflation. But the real ROI comes from preventing yourself from getting so wiped out that you have to turn around and sell off investments at a potential loss to cover the expense. Taking any money out of long-term investment accounts for reasons other than retirement is basically the young you stealing from the older you. Two things we don't like around here: rats and thieves. So don't act like either one when it comes to your retirement account. Speaking of retirement accounts, let's take a look at the median for all of them together, then we'll break it down individually between IRAs and 401ks/TSPs. Total amounts invested start out at $5,000 for Gen Z, then increases by 402% to $25,100 for the millennials. Once again, don't get excited about that large increase, millennials, because $25,000 is terrible. We see a 259% increase to $90,000 for Generation X. Now, you guys and gals are just as bad as us millennials, so don't go jumping for joy. Some baby boomers and the silent generation are starting to draw down on their investments and are most likely receiving Social Security. But either way, that 115K and 117K would have me just a little bothered if I were them. One of the big reasons all of these numbers freak me out when I see them is because I look at it through the lens of a safe withdrawal rate. I personally like to assume a 3.5% withdrawal rate. Now, with that 151K total balance, the baby boomers can only safely withdraw $5,285 per year. Yeah, I understand the whole Social Security part, but still, $440 per month is a little scary. Actually, a lot of scary. If I haven't angered you enough to click off the video by this point, let's listen to Dr. Dre because he gave some solid money advice in an interview that he did many years ago.
It ain't about who has the flyest car, who has the most jewelry. It ain't about that. It's about saving and preparing yourself for when it ain't happening no more, because it's going to happen sooner or later. You know, you never know when. When Dr. Dre falls off, if and when that happens, I'm cool. I'll never have to touch another button as long as I live, straight up. And that's what you have to think. You have to say, okay, I know I'm gonna f off some money, so let me put this money over here to f off, right? And let me save this. Take care of your taxes, take care of all that shit. You gotta make sure you're prepared when the gets thick.
Let's take a look at one of my top 2 favorite investment accounts, the IRA. Gen Z is at $4,000, followed by millennials with $15,000. There's a 233% increase for Gen X, where their median balance is $50,000. After that, it more than doubles for the baby boomers, with a slight drop for the silent generation. As of 2023, $6,500 is all that you need to max out this account every single year. If millennials did this for just 2 years in a row, then they would almost double the amount that they have invested invested into this account. In my opinion, and based on my order of investing operations, something like a Roth IRA should be maxed out every single stinking year, no matter what. The money grows and can be withdrawn tax-free. You're insane for not taking full advantage of it. As a buy and hold long-term investor, my preferred investing platform for this is M1 Finance, and I have a whole video breaking down everything you need to know about a Roth IRA, which will be linked above my head and in the description of this video if you need some direction. The contribution limits for a 401k and TSP are much higher than IRAs, so you should expect these balances to be a lot larger. While they are larger, they aren't large enough. Gen Z is a lot newer to the workforce, so their median balance is $4,700. Then we see a 345% increase to $21,000 for millennials. While it's still pretty low in my opinion, Gen X increased by 233% to $70,000. We see another increase for the boomers, then the decline starts as people are in retirement and withdrawing from their accounts. If you want to start tracking your net worth, then I recommend using the free software Personal Capital. All you do is link up your accounts and it calculates everything for you automatically. Again, I want to reiterate that the point of going through all of these numbers is to take a good look in the mirror and be honest with yourself about where you're at. Take the emotion out of it, because feeling frustrated and hopeless is one of the most counterproductive things that you can do. If you feel bad for yourself, then go ahead and do it for 48 hours. Then we need to move on, because we have work to do, money to make, and investing that just needs to get done. The first couple of things to do is compare your debt levels to your peers. Come up with a better plan to manage your money, and then start working on ways to increase your income. I'll teach you about all of those things in this playlist to your left. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Done.